Hey fam, how you guys doing? It's me and my daughter, Slay Your Health, Very
Hey.
Wise Alternatives. We're coming and we're going to just talk about finding balance. I know a lot of people have a lot of questions. Not too many people asked questions yesterday, but I know a lot of people are curious, really, because I know I did a lot of YouTube videos. My daughter be on social media, as far as the TikTok, far as Instagram, and a lot of people want to know really how you find balance in this day-to-day world, all the stuff that's going on. The way I find balance is sometimes I just sit and try to just meditate and think about what I need to do and what can wait, what really can wait, so I can just be.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just be. Because a lot of times we don't be. We want to go do everything for everybody else and forget about ourselves.
That made me think about we tend to operate in our masculine energy more than our feminine energy. So masculine energy is that action, the doing, and feminine energy is that being, existing and creating and laughing and that nurturing part and you know being able to just be instead of doing and having to be in action. So and that's something that I'm working on now. I get it from my mama. I mean, the military did it to her. It's not that, this is how she wanted to be. Um, you know, Experiences in life, job, all of that. And, the world just keeps going no matter what's going on with you. So you have to, jump to action and operate in that masculine energy, especially if you don't have a masculine energy in the household, able to do and, lead. Now you have to play both parts, so, and you get stuck in that. So it's time to learn how to be and find, tap into that inner child and do the work for that inner child so that you can learn to play and be creative and laugh and dance and have fun and learning to relax. That's something that we're working on as well. So, yeah. And just know that finding balance is going to look different for you. When yours, like you said, is meditation. That might not work for you. It might not work for you right now. At one point in time, meditation was not my go-to. It was not my go-to. But recently, in like the last 2 months, if that, meditation is like the first thing on my list. I'm meditating like 3 times a day. Like that's just, as soon as things start going crazy, I'm like, oh, time to meditate. Whereas before, you couldn't pay me to meditate just because my mind was just racing. So I would, my peace, my balance was going to the spa, getting away and being able to do self-care activities versus, being able to slow down and, meditate. But now it's just, listening to your body and seeing what works for you and not comparing yourself to other people, because what works for me might not work for you. And you just have to get to know yourself. Sit down and really figure out where you're struggling. Hold on. So, sorry guys. But yeah, what works for you might not work for another person and vice versa. So yeah, sit down and really get to know yourself. Where are you struggling? It could be, weight loss. It could be work. It could be at home, having boundaries with the family. You have to pour into yourself. So where is it that you can take back your power and pour into you, and know that it's not selfish? You're taking care of you, and it is going to, help everybody else that's around you. And the people that love you will respect your decisions and you pouring into yourself, and they will see how it's going to benefit you because they love you so much and they want to see you grow. They want to see you happy. They want to see you have that balance. They want to see you reaching your goals, and they know that when you're happy, you're healthy, and you're doing for you, you're able to do for them. Not saying that they, they're doing it, to benefit from it, but they know that you will benefit from it and everybody else will benefit from it.
Oh yeah, definitely. I was gonna say that sometimes the littlest things, I mean, because my mother's just kind of like startled me, so I completely lost a little track at that time. But I was thinking about sometimes finding balance is little things of, I know it's going to sound silly, but going in and just brushing your teeth, going in and sitting in your car, going in and getting a book I don't even care if you're not reading it. You could just read the same page over and over again. It's that you are
still in time for yourself, no matter what
yeah,
it is. Yep. Just
yeah,
pouring into yourself. Pouring into yourself could be, I'm about to go watch my favorite show. And some people, TV is not their thing, and they'll tell you that that's bad. You should not watch TV.
right.
All right, that's not for you. But me, on the other hand, I'm about to watch this show. Do
Yes.
what works for you, finding that balance, and then, when you start new things like a weight loss journey or any type of fitness journey or any journey at all, you got to find balance within that journey as well.
Yes.
Even when you're on track for a promotion, the last thing you want to do is go so hard that you fall right before the finish line and you don't get the promotion. So, finding balance in the things that you start, all the new things that you start, and even the things that you have going on in your life right now, your schedule for your kids.
What about disappointments?
Is it realistic, the schedule that you have, and really like reevaluating what you're doing? Just because you've been doing it for so long does not mean that it's working. So, being real for yourself, with yourself. And you said disappointments,
right? Imagine like you get the, you don't get the promotion.
Oh yeah.
So you don't get the promotion. You still got to find a balance in that, because you'd be like, oh, I'm about to get this extra money. No, sometimes you got to scale back and do things that fit you. I mean, it's like my daughter was saying, everybody's different. Everybody has different goals. We're really talking about, finding balance in your life, as far as, changing your lifestyle. When you change your lifestyle, when you see that certain things is not working, whether you just can't lose the weight, whether your health is going deteriorating and it's not getting better, whether, I'm gonna say your mind, you like, man, am I sleeping? Because y'all know when y'all not getting enough sleep, you kind of think that you're going crazy, but you're not. You're not. And those are the things that you got to find balance in. Like, I know you spoke about work. Which is great, because a lot of us, we're not finding balance in that, because we're working, and we forget about ourselves. Mainly ourselves. We forget about ourselves, and we want to balance the children, balance our spouse, balance the cat, the dog, balance the house. But we just forget about our balance. We forget about that a lot. And a lot of people got to realize that, just, like I was talking about, really being, center yourself, get yourself in. When the first time it was a meditation, because I'm like, now finding balance now is meditation. When I first started, I had to learn, and I really didn't know, because I'll be bouncing all over the walls, meaning I would think, okay, let me just read this book. I won't read the book, thinking that's going to find some balance. I'll go in there and I'll try to go to the spa. You go to the spa. I would go sit in the hot tub. The hot tub would get, with was not the hot tub, but the pool, the hot pool wouldn't be enough. I go in the lay down and try to read a book. My mind is racing. Then I'll go in the salt room. I was just thinking about me trying to find balance in the spa. And I really realized I liked the spa, but it wasn't really for me. Where I really found balance was just going to the movies.
Oh yeah, you did do that a lot. This woman would go to the movies 7 days a week, sometimes 3 movies back to back. But you know what? If you like it, I love it. You was enjoying it, and I said, good for her. She found something.
It was
she
like
had
a dark room.
Her membership. She was, I don't know how much it was, but it was cheap, and she was gone. I'm like, where you at? It's been 5 hours. I'm at the movies. Okay, bet. Good.
Yeah. I will go to the first one.
And that's the crazy thing. Like, a lot of people wouldn't think, like, go to the movies. That is like your meditation, in that season. But you got to do what's right for you, and you don't got to explain it to nobody, because I would never think to do that. And it wouldn't even be like, the movies is not relaxing to me. I'm just saying, to me, it's not. So it's just like, it doesn't have to make sense to anybody but you.
Just imagine sitting on the couch doing nothing and everybody walking by asking you questions. I'm at the movie, ain't nobody know my name. They don't even know I'm there. It's dark.
That's the thing, though. I can't relate, because I'm not a mother. Nobody asking me for nothing.
Just think it's your job. Cal gonna take me away.
But that's the thing. Like, I can leave my job. I can't leave my house.
Oh.
You know what I mean? I don't got no kids, so like, yeah, that doesn't bother me. So I definitely, I get it.
Think about you at home. You think about everything you're gonna do. Everything.
That's true. That's like, I can't work out at home, but I can work out at the gym. Like, no. Like, I still have a hard time working out at home, which is why I had to create that space in the garage.
Okay.
And that's why I can't really do what I want in there right now, because half the garage is still storage. And I'm looking at, like, I need to move that. I need to do that. I need to paint up there. That is not cute. Oh, and I'm trying to record. You see paint cans and everything else. And I'm like, I'm about to go to the gym. I'm in the gym. Nothing can take my attention away. So it doesn't have to make sense, because if she went in the garage and was in the gym, she'd be going at it. Me, on the other hand, I'm like, I want to move this freezer there. I want to put, I'm making a list in my head. So. You're
looking at the beauty and at this and that, be like, Mm-hmm. Like today when you saw it recording, you saw that big water stain.
I'll be looking at everything. Because
you moved the orange thing.
I'll be looking at everything, man.
I was like, pan over, and they said, "Oh, at least she clean."
I was like, "Oh, there's nail holes right there." I look at everything. It's
me, that's the balance. Hey, it looked like that now. Give it 6 months, it'll be changed. It's like seeing the change. And what balanced me, back then doesn't balance me now. I sit there and be like, dang, let me get out of here. And sometimes, like, you be so focused on the movie and somebody moving, you be distracted. And I'm like, nah, I don't feel like I don't know. I felt like a little peace.
But at the same time, like, that's growth, because what works for you in one season is not going to work for you in another season. And that's something you have to remember too. That. So, you'll find like, like you go into the movies, like this is working. And then, you're continuously working every single day, and you're continuously changing and becoming a different person. So it's not going to work for you anymore. And you have to be able to be okay with that and find what works in this season. And know that you're going to always continue to grow. Well, if you're doing the work, you're going to continue to grow. A lot of people stay where they are, don't change, and this is how I am. And I'm like, if it's working for you, then it's working for you. But from where I'm seeing, where I'm standing, it ain't working because things ain't going right. But if you are really pouring into yourself, you're going to continue growing. Yes. And you might outgrow some people. You might outgrow your habits and your routines, and you're going to have to morph and shift with that.
And don't be afraid to fail. Don't be afraid to fail thinking, it ain't working. It is working.
That's not failure. It's not failure. Because you have all the experiences
because you're not failing.
Yeah. I mean, you progressed, and of course, if just because it's not working out, whatever it is that you're going for is not working out for you, doesn't mean that you failed. It's just like, not right now. That's not what's supposed to happen right now. But you actually didn't take any steps back, just because you have all those experiences, and it's going to guide you and tell you to go in another direction versus not doing anything, freezing up, and I'm not moving, and I'm not, you know what I mean? So it's not necessarily failure. And this is me talking to myself on my mirror at home. I have one of my affirmations is I release the fear of failure, and I am free, because I am afraid of failure, because I'm a recovering perfectionist. That is what I'm working on. I'm recovering a lot of things. I'm recovering perfectionist, people pleaser, and all those things. Learning how to set boundaries, and not just setting boundaries with other people, setting boundaries with yourself. Mm-hmm. Learn to set boundaries with yourself, because you'd be like, oh, I could do that. No, you can't. You better tell yourself, no, you can't. You said you wasn't going to. Don't let that person do this, and don't you dare do this. Set boundaries with other people, and you better be able to set boundaries with yourself. Practice what you preach.
So, can you give me some? Because that'll help me. Because
what do you mean?
Sometimes I'm saying a good boundary set for yourself. Like, sometimes I'll do it anyway. I'll go ahead and do
That's the thing, though. That's what we talked about yesterday. Parenting yourself. Yeah. You quick to parent me.
I know.
You better parent yourself. I can't tell you what to do. It's like, oh, I said I wasn't going to eat those 2 cookies. Set a boundary. If it's important to you, then you gonna do it. Right. If not, then you know what I mean?
Yes.
It's like parenting yourself, and then like being real with yourself, like what I'm working for or what I'm trying to achieve, is it important or is it not important? Like seriously, is it or is it not? If it's not, you gonna give in. If it is, you gonna fight teeth and nail to say, all right, I'm not going to.
Yeah, I like that. I don't know. It's like sometimes you'll talk and like just to have something to grasp or to get exactly what you were saying. So having, something that you like parent. I love that parents and stuff. So I was like, hey, you gotta parent yourself. Because we do. It's like sometimes I can give some great advice. I mean, I be on and they'll be like, what did I just say? I be like, I ain't even doing, I ain't listening. Because a lot of times, I'm not even gonna say a lot of times. When it's important, it'll be important. It really would. If it's important, it would be important to you. But y'all know sometimes you be like, I ain't doing that. I'm grown. Because we'll battle with ourselves.
That decision fatigue is a mother. Just because you're making so many decisions all day long. And I think that's why it's good to have some routines for yourself and different habits for yourself. So it's already set and you don't have to make so many routines. Like my water bottle is next to my bed. I don't have to get up and say, oh, am I drinking coffee or am I drinking water? That's your first decision. Am I going to get on social media or am I not going to get on social media? Am I going to work out or what am I going to wear today? How am I going to wear my hair? My kids ask me, are they going to do this or you know what I mean? There's so many decisions that you're making throughout the day.
And those so it's like second,
right. So why not have routines and things set so you don't have to make those decisions? So later on in the day, when you like, do I eat that cookie or do I not eat that cookie? You have a little bit more willpower because you have already taking out that decision of, am I going to drink coffee or water because your water was already ready? Yes. Am I going to go to the gym or stay in bed? Well, my gym clothes is like right here. My bag is packed. Everything is good. Oh, what am I going to eat? Well, my lunch is already ready. My breakfast is ready. Everything's packed. So I don't have to think about that. You know what I mean? So like staying prepared basically.
Oh, yes. Now we do have one question. So T was asking, how do you start to take back your power and set boundaries with your family?
That's a hard one. I feel like you have been the main person doing that, setting boundaries with family and taking back your power. Like has been your ultimate goal for like years. And I feel like I'm just now like starting to work on that and setting boundaries. I think it's more of figuring out who you need to set boundaries with and what the pressing issue is,
especially if you have a little triggers. That can be a little trigger.
Noticing your triggers.
And then you have to work as if it trigger you, then that's what you have to fix with yourself. And then you can relate to that person. But we must set boundaries.
You have to communicate too. You can't just, you've been like doing something for so long, like, you assume that I've just been doing your laundry for forever, but it's starting to take a toll on me. I'm doing my laundry, my kids' laundry, your laundry. It's just too much.
Right.
Instead of I just all of a sudden not do your laundry. It's just sitting there and you like, your basket sitting in front of my door and I'm just walking around it. It's just, you have to communicate. So it's just like, sitting down with that person and saying, this is where I am. And then, making sure that you sit with the decision and the boundary that you're about to make, like really pinpoint, what it is and be able to communicate it in a
tactful way, loving, respectful, not nasty.
How you would want to receive that information. You know what I mean?
Because the conversation, remember, like the love language and knowing
how that person receives information.
You can slice them real hard. They be hurt.
Thinking about how you communicate, okay, this hasn't worked in the past, that hasn't worked in the past. This is what I'm trying to communicate. This is how I would want to receive it.
Because don't text it.
No, please don't. This woman, she be texting stuff, and then you already know when you read a text message, it's in whatever tone or mood that you are in. So she could be saying, "Hey, can you do X, Y, and Z?" I could read it like, hey, can you please do X, Y, and Z? You know what I mean? So don't text. Communicate. Check your body language. Check how you are delivering the message, and put yourself in their shoes. And really be firm, like, hey, I can't do X, Y, and Z because of da.
Right.
And once you deliver the message, it's up to them. Do not take on their feelings, because it's not your job to manage someone else's feelings. It's your job to manage your own feelings and to manage, what you got going on, and setting the boundary with them and yourself. So setting the boundary with them is, hey, I can't do X, Y, and Z. Setting the boundary with yourself is, just because they still want me to do it, I'm not about to give in, because I've set the boundary and now I have to uphold my end. They have to uphold and respect, what I have going on, and going about it that way. And taking your power back is staying firm with the boundaries, because you're teaching people how to treat you.
Mm-hmm.
So if, you have this whole conversation and say, hey, I can't do X, Y, and Z, and they still put their clothes at your door waiting for wash day, and you be like, okay, I'm going to do it this one time. You're teaching them, like, oh, so we can talk and have these conversations, but it really don't mean nothing. She gonna do it anyway.
Yeah.
And it's gonna keep happening.
And then you're gonna be mad with yourself, because it'll be your
causing
fault,
a whole nother problem.
Yeah.
So hopefully that kind of helped and answered your question.
And this helps when they owe you money or gotta pay rent. This helps in not every, but there's emergencies, but just know that communication and making sure that you both not like when you deliver the message, make sure you both clearly understand, or because sometimes people are like, I can get you, I know your weak points. I know you're going to feel guilty, because some people do that. You know how we tell our kids no? We go ask daddy, and then dad say yes, and mom be like, well, dad, we talk to the husband. Well,
but that's
you said yes.
You have to evaluate all the weak points, going in. So they know mommy, daddy don't really communicate, and they play against each other. Once you see that cycle, it's time to break it, and it's time to, nip it in the bud. So when I have this conversation and I say no, we about to have this as a family conversation. So you don't go back and start playing us against each other. Because
I was making sure I looked at when she said she take her power back. Your power is setting that boundary. Like if you said no, you got to stick to it no matter what. I don't care if you go back and have a little pity party. Just keep that with yourself, stand firm, and make sure it's a no.
And know that it's going to get easier each time, just because it's like a muscle. You know what I mean? Your mind, you're making these decisions and you're setting these boundaries. It'll get easier as you continue to do it. So it's going to bother you. It's going to be uncomfortable. You're going to be like, oh, should I, for a little while. And once you continue to stay firm and you strengthen that muscle of setting the boundaries and standing up for yourself, it gets a little bit easier to the point where it's just like, oh, they mad. All right. But I'm okay. I hope they're able to get over it. Not that, you being rude or whatever, but, it just gets a little bit easier. So just continue.
And you actually teaching them, let's say if it was money, and if you keep giving them money to pay a bill, and you keep giving them money, but you setting that boundary. I say no, but you keep giving them. Remember, you're not setting the boundary, but you're not teaching them as well, because they're going to keep taking. They're going to keep expecting you to do the laundry. They're going to keep expecting you to wash this. They're going to keep expecting you, and then you're gonna. Your boundaries not going to be set. Your power is going to be everywhere. Everybody's going to be taking you, draining you. And you're going to be like, man, you're going to be like that paddle ball or that ping pong ball. Hey, you got this. And you're going to feel mad and disgusted with yourself. We want you to take your power back. We want you to have your energy and keep your energy, because people will definitely treat you. And then you have to look at them learning a lesson. Them growing, because with them growing, hey, then they know how to wash their clothes. Hey, they know how to make sure that they, how to spend their money and not spend yours.
Oh, I hope we talk about kids, because we're not talking about adults that we're about to rear and teach them how to spend their money and save their money. That's for kids. But if you have adults reaching out for money and they continue to reach out money and you continue to give, it's time to stop. And it's not your job to teach them.
That's true.
It's your job to teach them how to treat you, but it's not your job to teach them how to manage their money or to live their life or be an adult, because you have to take care of yourself.
Yes.
Now, if you do have a little, you want to help them, make sure it's within means and it's something that you can sustain or you can manage. Another thing that I want to hit on is let's say you did set a boundary and you gave in. Okay, it's okay. That's where the grace comes in. Set a boundary. I didn't hold up to it. I can go back and say I'm setting it again and move forward. Don't I said I was, and I keep up. No, you don't. No, you don't.
And don't argue, right? Don't argue.
What you mean don't argue? Because right now it's a conversation with myself. Because I set a boundary and I didn't uphold that. So that internal battle of I didn't set the I didn't do what I was going to say. Well, what I said I was going to do. It's okay. Start again. Let's go.
But what about with the person? If the person want to argue, just let them argue and ignore them, right?
They heard the boundary and they saw that I folded. They already benefited from it one time. Right. Afterwards. That was your free card right there. Because I told you, and then you got over on me because I was a little bit weak and I couldn't say no. That was it. I'll have to explain myself, But if you want to, hey, I know I said we're going back to that.
Yes.
Just keep going. Have grace for yourself.
And that communication, like my daughter was saying, that communication. You already know communication. You already know. You have to speak and tell them exactly what you want. Because if you don't say and you have a grace or they got some wiggle room, they're gonna take all that wiggle room and you're gonna be sitting there, depleting your energy. But I appreciate the question. Anybody have any other question? We're here to answer questions if you want about finding balance. So I was looking at the chat. So, and for everybody like and share. And if y'all can, my daughter, I just want y'all to know to go to Slayyourhealth, her YouTube channel, and just go ahead and subscribe and support her. That's what I really would like for you to do.
If you want to.
Because she's going to show you a wealth of things. Y'all know I'm on the colon side and the herbal side, but she's
mainly weight loss and just sharing where I came from, what I'm doing. If you guys have questions or any thing that you want me to make videos about, I'm doing that. But it's mainly weight loss and lifestyle and how to sustain your weight loss goals.
Oh yeah, y'all hear that? Sustain, because a lot of people are like this herbs vital this, and I'd be like, I'm somehow, and I don't know. It's like we already in heaven, but it's like heaven opened up, and my daughter said, "I want to get my YouTube," and I'm like, yes, I'm more than that, So I'm glad that she finally said yes, and proud mama say this.
Yeah, now it's time to perfect how to put these videos together and draw people in. So,
oh yes,
yeah.
So we here and we talking about finding balance because a lot of I know I keep saying a lot of people, but there are so many people out there that's suffering in silence that don't even really know a question.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. But a lot of people don't want to ask a question, don't really know how to ask a question. She's right here. Ask the question. If y'all got suggestions, you can put them in there. And at the end, if you watching this on a recorded, put something down in the comments. We will answer.
Well, definitely, because I can talk health and wellness all day long until I'm blue in the face. You might have to tell me to stop. So, you send me a message on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, wherever, and I got you. It's too easy.
Because I know with this social media, it can be a lot, but you got people that will answer your question. You got people that will answer your question. My daughter will answer our question. We're, speaking from the heart because we care. And it's like sometimes, you got to go way around the moon and you be like, wait a minute, if you could just answer that question, we here. So y'all got to go way around, you could drop a comment.
Yeah, I don't think anybody has questions.
Yeah.
It's been, 30 minutes? I'm glad you guys got on here. I appreciate you. Oh, okay. Something's coming in. Oh, your nighttime fat burner.
Okay, somebody, she said, oh my husband. But let me put something because I can't really see it. You read it, it says some other children.
Well, this one.
Oh,
can you talk a little bit about your nighttime fat burner?
Okay, so the nighttime fat burner is specifically when you go to Sleep. I know you're like, that's what it says. But we don't realize, when you sleep, if you sleep on an empty stomach, people don't realize that if you sleep on a full stomach, your body is constantly just chewing on and getting all that stuff up out of your stomach. So if you go to sleep like maybe 20, 30 minutes before and you have that fat burner on an empty stomach, it's going to go in there and absorb all that extra stuff in your stomach. It's going to go in there and go into your intestines and clear it out and melt off. And I know you're like, what are you talking about? Sometimes we don't realize there's brown and white fat up under your skin, and that's where a lot of our, how can I put it, that extra sugar that forms. And we're talking about the bad sugar. A lot of us don't realize that if you ate healthy and gained weight, that's stored good fat, good tissue, good muscle. But a lot of people don't realize when we eat this bad food, you're storing bad carbs, bad sugars. So when that bad sugar dissolve, and when you don't eat, all that bad stuff goes into your body. We want to melt it and get it out the right way. So that's why I created my fat burner. So when you're sleeping at night, it's burning away. It's going in and cleaning you out. Y'all know I'm the colon queen. So what you think that's going to do? It's going to go out in your urine. It's going to go out in your bowel movement, and it's going to go out with your perspiring. If you guys really sleep in the nude, in your birthday suit, your body temperature, it regulates, and uh, you're supposed to sweat. If you feel yourself perspiring, not really under your neck, but if you feel your whole body a little warm and sweating, it's normal. Now, I don't mean you're running a fever anyway, but it's normal. And if you actually sweat every day, remember you're releasing all those toxins and poisons. And you already know the body already heals itself. Your body already know how to heal itself. So that fat burn is enhancing it to make sure that you get the extra stuff out that you need to get out. So if you put goodness in and your body's already know how to heal itself, so your body's going to stay good. But if we cheat extra, 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 you know how we do. We eating everything in the middle of the store instead of eating the fruits and vegetables on the outside, the perimeter store. So if you stay in a perimeter store, you're in a good, and I know there's meat in the perimeter store. I know. But the middle stuff, everything that's in a box, ripping open the plastic, that's processed foods. That's what we don't need to eat. And that's what I want to get out of your body, because people don't realize that. Do you know in your belly you can still have stuff in there that's 5 years, 10 years old? People are like, what?
Especially
so this is what we want to
bowel movement after every meal. It's still stuck up in there.
You hear that, right?
So the next one is you're trying to change your lifestyle, and you have some resistance with your children. You have a 12-year-old and a 4-year-old. Honestly, the first thing that came to my head is you just need to be a role model and just show how good you feel and how yummy the food is and how much fun it is to be outside and soaking up the sun. And instead of going out with the family, it's going out to restaurants. We are actually doing active events and activities together. Buying different things, as far as like we're about to go out and play with the frisbee or whatever, instead of playing video games. Just being a role model, just because I just remember as a child, and even now, because my mom, she'll send me things, you should do this and you should do that. And I'm like, you telling me and pushing me is causing the resistance. But if I see you, and you know what I mean, if I see it for myself and it's becoming like a norm, like, oh, I see you eating these, and different types of apples are out now versus we have different types of chips. You know what I mean? I'm more prone to picking that up myself. And then also, one of the things is, if you want your children to eat more fruits and vegetables, I had to do this with my ex-husband. When I was making like spaghetti and things like that, boy, I was blending up some vegetables and putting it in the sauce, and you know what I mean, and hiding the vegetables. And he's like, oh, this is good. And then later on, it's like, oh, you ate some eggplant. And you're like, eggplant? I did, and I liked it. And then they'll be more open. Or if you don't want to tell them, don't tell them, because they might feel like you deceived them. But if you want to get more vegetables, is being creative and making it fun and not pushing it, and just slowly implementing some things and just making it fun, because living a healthier lifestyle doesn't have to be
boring and
grueling, and it doesn't have to be tasteless, and it doesn't have to be, you know what I mean?
Like, not trying to be funny, but you cook very well, and I love it. She'll make something like, oh, what? And let me tell you, she had made some curry chickpeas. I bit my lip and my tongue. It was so good. I was embarrassed because I was like, dang, I bit my
and find
it was good.
Find the meals that y'all normally eat. If pizza is a thing, or quesadillas or burgers or whatever, find a way to make it a little bit healthier. But it still has taste. It's still the same thing. Oh, you like quesadillas? Let's throw some greens and stuff in there, and just making it fun, making it creative, and not changing everything in one go, because it's a lot. It's a lot for adults, let alone children.
Yes, because a lot of people, when they're trying to be creative, and they be like, I ain't doing this, and then I read, and they try to substitute. You already have a vegan recipe. Follow the recipe. You ain't gotta change. Just follow that recipe. Make it simple, and don't try to recreate something that you're not gonna cook. Right?
What do you mean?
Like somebody will try to make
some souffle, and you don't even know what it is. Yeah.
Especially you're trying to bake something you don't bake.
I like burgers. Okay, I'm about to go make a mushroom or
right. Instead of trying to be something. Just keep it simple. So it can be fun.
Yeah, there's so many different recipes out
there. You're talking about a 12-year-old and a 4-year-old.
Like, I was making to make lasagna healthier, I would make lasagna roll-ups, because you use less pasta. So instead of using the whole box of pasta, or even 2 things of pasta, the roll-up, I would take one long one and layer the vegetables and the sauce and the cheese and whatever that you're using in there, roll it up, and that's a serving itself. Versus, when you cut the lasagna, you get all, you know what I mean? You're getting so much pasta, and it's just loaded up. So and it was really good. And even you can make lasagna cups in a muffin can and a muffin pan or whatever, just to kind of, you're getting the taste and everything, but you're cutting down on the portion size, and you're also able to put vegetables. You can put vegetables in anything. Let me tell you, I found some ways that had some vegetables, so my husband would eat some vegetables. I felt like I had a 4-year-old.
So here's some other health food. It says because they're resistant. I like when she's talking about hide the vegetables in there. That's good. And then with the juice, you can add water. Don't be scared to add water in the juice.
Or cut the juice and make your own juice.
Well, definitely.
But that is an easier way if you're weaning them off juice.
Yeah, because they gonna love that juice. They're gonna be like.
But also just being a role model. I think not pushing it and changing everything.
Right.
That's the same question we just answered.
Okay. So the next one is
what's good to eat before bed? It's not good to eat before bed. It's not good to eat before bed. When you go to bed, your body is supposed to be recovering and resting for the next day. If you eat before bed, your body is focusing on breaking down that food and not recovering and resting at all. I did a detox, and my last meal was it wasn't even a meal, but my last meal was about 6 p.m. and even that was juice.
Pushing it.
Yeah. But I would eat like the bulk of my food in the middle of the day. So when the sun was the highest in the sky, eating the bulk of my food in the middle of the day, and then start tapering off. So I'll have a big meal, and then I'm going into fruits, and then going into juice, so that I can taper off and my body has time to digest everything before I go to bed. If I eat before bed, I wake up and I still feel the food in my stomach. Like I just can't do it. And sometimes I still do it, and I learn the hard way, and that's why I'm tapering off again now. Like I'm human. My schedule is off sometimes, just like even coming out here and doing all this moving around, my eating has been off. So I'm tapering off now and getting back into a flow. But eating before bed is not something that you really want to do. If you do need to have something, it's good to have a juice. So if you have some fresh juice, you can do that. Or if you need to have something, I would go for fruit versus, actual, like, a meal.
Mm-hmm. And the thing is, I would want to know what urge you feel, because then you would say to yourself, when the last time you had a parasite cleanse? Because if you're feeling that craving, because it's a craving, is it an urge? Or sometimes you already know that, and I'm not saying that this is you already know that you're feeding something where you could be, depressed.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, I'm just going to eat.
Yeah.
So you're satisfying what urge?
Or you could be dehydrated.
So you heard when she said juice, yeah.
Yeah. You also, it could be the fact that you didn't eat all day long, and you were snacking, and you didn't feed your body. So staying on top of your meals throughout the day, and the quality of food. But there's levels to it, because when you first start out, your body is so used to one thing, so you slowly want to taper off, and then up in the quality. You know what I mean? So it's balance within that.
Yeah, and that's the thing, finding balance in the portion of meal, what you're eating, all that's that balance. Like you're saying, you find that urge. Sometimes I would just drink me some water, really warm. Try warm water with maybe a little bit of lemon. Drink that down, and that'll actually, quench that thirst, and it'll taper off that urge to eat. It's just another question.
Never had a parasite cleanse. What's a good one? There's a parasite cleanse on Verywisealternatives. My mom has a bundle that you can use. Before diving into the parasite cleanse, it's best to slowly change your diet and go towards a plant-based diet before you get into the cleanse.
Because when you do a parasite cleanse, hear me clearly, you cannot eat cooked foods. You cannot eat cooked foods. Parasites, when you start a cleanse, it has to be a 30-day, 30 days that you're doing, meaning 10 days, 10 days, 10 days. So it'd be like maybe almost a 6-week type of deal, because you do 10 days and you'll taper off, because parasites, they running hot like roaches, and you have to do another 10 days, taper off. When you taper off, you're still eating fruits and vegetables. You're eating fruits, but that means you could probably eat a little bit of more, you could probably add some seeds in there. You can add flax seeds, chia seeds, but I just want you to eat really raw fruits and vegetables, because when you're eating something else, you're feeding the parasites. So, and I want you to have that discipline that you will stay on the cleanse, even if you do it 2 days off 10. That's excellent. The fact that you did 10 days and taper off, at least you killed some. People are like, oh, I can't do it and quit and don't do it. No.
It's better than what you was doing before.
Exactly, because at least you'll kill some.
Yeah.
And the thing is, you may not have that many. It all depends on what you eat. It all depends on what you did. The fact that you never had, I don't know if you're a meat eater, even eating fruits and vegetables, you have parasites because we're not cleaning it well. And I'm not saying you eat dirty foods. I'm just saying that we have to look at how we eat, what we eat, where we've been, what water we're drinking. All that takes an effect. But everyone should have a parasite cleanse once a year. Once a year.
Especially if you're continuing to eat meat afterwards. If you're going to continue eating that afterwards, you're going to have to continue detoxing.
Oh, yes. But y'all know Verywisealternatives, Verywisealternatives, www.verywisealternatives.com, my parasite cleanse. You can go down on the description. Y'all know in the description, right down there, it'll show you everything. My website, my social media. I'll have my daughter's social media. Everything for her social media is Slayyourhealth. We would love for you to support her. Like I said, she's just getting ready to go back and, how I say, load videos on her YouTube. She was already on YouTube before I was, but like she's going to be consistent now because she loves.
I was playing around with it before. I was using YouTube as like a video diary and just making whatever videos, just to be totally honest. But now I'm getting kind of serious about it, just because I feel lucky to know what my passion is, because a lot of people are searching for their passion and they don't know what they should be doing. And I've been blessed to have figured it out. This is something I've been continuously doing for over 10, 11 years, and I've been able to sustain a lifestyle, and I can talk about it all day. So I feel like it's time for me to move in that direction and help people. And I'm definitely not in it for the money, because when I was training people, I was not earning a lot of money, but I was working more hours than I'm working now, and making less. It's more of a passion. And the last thing I want to do is live my life doing just existing. I don't want to live my life just existing, and I want to be able to live the life that I want to live before I turn 60, before I turn 65. And I want to help people. So it's time to make those changes, get in front of the camera. I don't like being in front of the camera. I mean, I have social anxiety and all those things. However, I have to get over that. And there's a lot of things that I'm still working on, and I'm still learning. I don't know everything, but I do have my experiences. And I know that a lot of people are struggling with the things that I have overcome. So I can at least share those things.
They just asked you when you're going live again. So my daughter's here now. We're not in Maryland. Yeah. We're in North Carolina.
Yeah. So I live in Maryland.
And I'm currently here
in North Carolina. I came to visit, to do some work with my mom. We are trying to figure out how we can go live together. I actually have to have a certain amount of following in order to be able to go live on YouTube. She has the following, I don't, so I can't do it that way. So we're trying to figure out how we can go live together so we can continue talking to you guys. Yes. I can say I have a couple weeks off in December, so I do plan to come back out here in December. But I have no idea when we're going to go live again. We are trying. I need to get my following up. I need to get the support of everybody. So yeah, that's what I'm working on right now, and trying to come up with content. The algorithm is beating everybody up and not showing our videos, not putting us out there. So we're just trying to figure it out, basically. I have a good amount of following on Instagram, but trying to translate it over is it's a work in progress.
Oh yes. Now I normally go live on either Wednesday or Thursday. That's when I normally go live. So just expect a video or for me to go live Wednesday and Thursday. So y'all see the clip. Now I will say this. I'm not ever telling you to unsubscribe, but to keep getting a notification, we noticed that we have to tell you to unsubscribe and subscribe back. You will have to click that button, click it again, hit the notification to hit all. Yes, that's what's going on. Because just think, you go on and you'll be a supporter. I don't have your email address. Only way I will get your email address if you will either text it, email it, or you email me. And I'm not asking you to put it down in the description, but if you go on my website and go on there and become a member, you will be on, I will get your email. But just think, YouTube have all these emails. That's how y'all get the notification. I don't have it. So it's not like, oh, we're going live. Like I am, it'll be a while before I say text this and then I have your information, but that's a whole other animal. But we're just, really, I just want you to support my daughter. I love how y'all support me. I love how y'all show up, show out, and I love it. I really love it. But we will set something up. Like I said, it'll definitely be December that we'll go live together.
Which is, December is around the corner.
That's
December
right.
is next week. Where is time?
It is.
It's crazy. It's so crazy. And honestly, sometimes it's a little bit scary because I'm trying to figure out how I got here. I'm trying to figure out how I got to this tender age of 34, about to be 35. I don't know where time is going, but it's crazy.
And y'all know I'm 37.
Yep. That means I'm 8. But it's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy. Absolutely crazy. December's next week. I'm trying to get my schedule together, so y'all be hearing from us.
Oh yes. But if y'all don't have any other questions, hey Stacy, how you guys doing? Let's see. If there's no other questions, we're gonna go ahead and end. And we hope we answered everything. And look, if we didn't answer, just put it down in the description, and we will definitely get back to you. So we're going to go ahead and sign off. We love you guys. Look, Slayyourhealth, Very Wise Alternatives, mom and daughter duo. We're trying to do something different, do something new too. Because y'all know I really have. Well, I think this is my first sit down live together. It is. It is.
Other
It
than
really is.
yesterday.
No, I'm talking about us doing live. Period.
Yeah.
You know, I done live with you only.
Yeah.
I've been live with Kareem, but we was in separate places. We was in separate places. So, but all
I
right,
feel like
family.
it's easier doing it this
It
way.
is. Hey, we appreciate you. We really appreciate you, and we appreciate the support. So we're gonna say good night.
Signing out.
Bye, fam.